Hello, welcome to Local Edition. I'm Leslie Leyton. Our next guest has co-authored a bill that is called the Middle Class Scholarship Program, and he's here now to tell us more about how it works. Jose Solorio, Assemblyman, thank you very much for being here.
No, glad to be back on the show.
Okay, so the Middle Class Scholarship Program, how does it work? Who is it for?
Sure. Well, first, some background. We've seen, over the past several years that CSU and UC fees have went up by, almost 200%. It used to be that, both these institutions used to be close to free, but now, for example, the UC fees are about $12,000. CSU fees are $6,000. So it's become very, very expensive. And then we have the situation that students on financial aid, get some help both from the state, the federal government. Those that are well-to-do can afford the education, but the middle class, people, households that may earn between $80,000 to $150,000, they're the ones that are paying these very high fees. And so Speaker John Perez put together a proposal that would eliminate a tax loophole that benefits largely out-of-state corporations and put that $1 billion instead towards helping these middle-class families in a way that it will reduce fees by 2/3. So a UC family would save $8,000 for that student going to the UC, and at the CSU level, they would save $4,000. So a real meaningful decrease in fees, and I think it's good for students and good for California. So
who would qualify more specifically? You talked about the income of the parents.
Yeah. It's really all income based, so it'll be between $80,000 and $150,000. The middle class there would benefit. The families would benefit themselves, which is a direct benefit to the family, and that's if they don't already have a full ride based on some scholarship or anything else. But other than that, it's based just solely on income.
Okay, even if we all agree education is a great thing and we'd all like help from somewhere, the money does have to come from somewhere. So let's talk a little bit more about where it comes from. You talk about getting rid of the loophole for out-of-state businesses. Explain more about that.
A few years ago, under the Schwarzenegger administration, the state changed the way it taxes out-of-state corporations. And there are two formulas. And we now, via closing this tax loophole, will do what I think like 2/3 of all the other states do, which is just to limit it to one formula. It's called the single sales factor. It's something really just, people on the Board of Equalization can, tell you what is all involved in the formula. But it's to put them on equal footing with, what happens in other states. And again, it's a pretty massive, tax loophole. It's $1 billion.
Is the scholarship program contingent on closing that loophole?
Yeah, the scholarship amount would also be $1 billion. And so it does assume that we entirely shift the savings from closing that loophole and taking it to the scholarship program. The tough thing would be it does require a 2/3 vote. But last year on a very similar proposal that would have been for economic development, we did get 2 Republican votes in the Assembly. And so now we just need to focus on a 2/3 vote in the Senate.
What happens if the $1 billion isn't realized from closing that loophole?
At that point, there just wouldn't be as much money available to the scholarship program, but that's the estimate.
Okay, and the support, you said some of the Republicans are coming around on this?
Well, last year, again, we did have 2 Republican votes in the Assembly, which is what we needed for a similar program. On the Senate side, is where we got to work a little bit more to get 2 Senate Republican votes over there. But, we need to help, the middle class. They're the class that keeps getting squeezed, and so we need to help.
All right. Thank you very much, Jose Solorio, for being here. And thank you for tuning in. More HLN next.